Hi everyone, this is my chemistry. In previous video, I discussed about the oxygen storage and transport proteins, namely hemoglobin and myoglobin, and simply known as metalloporphyrins. Okay, as we know, the metalloporphyrins are metal plus porphyrin macrocyclic ligand and fused together and forms metalloporphyrins. The myoglobin are the suitable example for metalloporphyrins. And in that video, we also discussed about the two states of hemoglobin, that is the deoxy form and the oxy form of hemoglobin. Later, it known as a 10 state or T state of deoxyhemoglobin, and R form is known as relaxed state of oxyhemoglobin. Okay. Along with that, we also discussed about the formation of hematine and the cooperative effect in the hemoglobin. And in this video, we're going to learn about the cooperative binding of hemoglobin, and also we're going to discuss about the effect of pressure and effect of pH. Okay, so effect of pressure and effect of pH in hemoglobin and myoglobin. And first, the hemoglobin, as we know, the hemoglobin is a big protein which is made up of two parts, heme as well as protein, which is a globin protein, and the heme part is made up of a metal, that is iron, is bounded with the porphyrin ligand, macrocyclic ligand, and forms a heme group. So this heme and protein are surrounded each other and forms a hemoglobin protein. Okay, and this hemoglobin has 4 subunits in the protein molecule, and each subunits are known as contains similar structure of heme, that is heme1, heme2 and heme3 and heme4. And these 4 heme groups are surrounded by the protein molecules and various polypeptide groups. Okay, and these 4 subunits are linked together by using the salt bridges between these 4 subunits. So this polypeptides give the salt bridges between these 4 subunits and form the folded helical form of hemoglobin. And this globin in the hemoglobin consists of two parts, two types, that is alpha globin, 2 alpha globin and 2 beta globin. And this alpha globin is made up of 141 amino acids and this beta globin is made up of 146 amino acids. So this was in the adult hemoglobin. So adult hemoglobin contains 2 alpha and 2 beta globin parts, which is mainly histidine residue is there. Okay, histidine residue. But in the fetal hemoglobin consists of, instead of beta globin part, it contains 2 gamma proteins. So histidine residue is replaced by the serine residue in the fetal hemoglobin. So the oxygen binding capacity is more in case of fetal hemoglobin than the adult hemoglobin. Okay. So this, we know it, the hemoglobin has 4 subunits. So these 4 subunits these 4 subunits have some salt bridges between that and link it together by the polypeptide linkages. So this is alpha and beta globin units. Okay, as we know it, when the hemoglobin, that is the hemoglobin present in red blood cells of the erythrocytes. So when the oxygen from the atmosphere gets inhaled, which reaches the lungs. So now lungs are highly saturated with the oxygen. So in lungs there is a high partial pressure of dioxin is there. Okay. So then hemoglobin experiences the high pressure of dioxygen molecule. So immediately this hemoglobin captures the dioxygen from the lungs, which has high partial pressure, and travels through the blood and reaches the muscle tissue. When it reaches the muscle tissue, it experiences a low partial pressure of dioxygen. So when the hemoglobin feels a low partial pressure of dioxygen, it immediately loses the dioxygen from it and transfers the dioxygen to the hemoglobin. myoglobin. Then the myoglobin stores the dioxygen, and whenever the oxygen is needed, the oxygen is released for the cell respiration process. So the cell respiration process is the conversion of glucose to carbon dioxide and water and energy. So the energy, released energy, is intaken by the cells. Okay, this is the cell metabolism reaction that happening in the cells. Okay, it was happened facilitated by the oxygen which released from the myoglobin. Okay, so when the hemoglobin in lungs experiences high pressure, which takes the oxygen, which travels to the tissues where the myoglobin exists, which experiences low pressure. So it suddenly leaves the oxygen, hemoglobin leaves the oxygen and takes the carbon dioxide and goes to the lungs. So effect of pressure, if you see the effect of pressure, the binding capacity, binding affinity of hemoglobin increases when the pressure increases. So if the binding ability decreases when the pressure decreases. So that is the effect of pressure in the hemoglobin and myoglobin. So hemoglobin needs high pressure and myoglobin needs low pressure for the dioxin binding. Okay. So this oxygen binding nature of the hemoglobin and myoglobin is explained by using some oxygen binding curves. So the graph is drawn in y-axis, x-axis. In x-axis, partial pressure of dioxygen is taken, and y-axis, percentage of protein that binds the oxygen, percentage saturation of protein that binds oxygen. Okay. Okay. So this oxygen binding curves gives two types of curves. Okay. So this was partial pressure in tissues, and this was partial pressure in lungs. Okay. So this curve, which represents the hyperbolic curve, and this is sigmoidal shape curves. Okay. So this hyperbolic curve describes the oxygen binding affinity of myoglobin, and this sigmoidal shape curve describes the oxygen binding nature of hemoglobin. Okay. So this is the T state, and this is called R state. Okay. So this is deoxy form and this is called oxy form. Okay. And this sigmoidal shape curve gives the equation of F equal to KPO2 N 1 plus, and this hyperbolic curve gives the equation of F equal to So this equation is derived from when the myoglobin binds the oxygen from the hemoglobin. Okay, when you write the rate constant for this equation, the concentration of myoglobin binds oxygen and myoglobin and the concentration of oxygen. So this equation gives this equation, and if you see the two equations, this is for myoglobin hyperbolic curve and this is the equation for sigmoidal curve, and there is a one more term is introduced in this equation, that is called N. So N is known as yield constant. Okay, so this yield constant value N exceeds 1, the oxygen binding affinity increases in the hemoglobin. So whenever the N value exceeds 1, the binding capacity of dioxin in hemoglobin gets increases. So this equation tells about that the binding capacity of oxygen increases in when n exceeds 1. Okay, and if you see this graph, and this graph shows that in the beginning hemoglobin experiences low partial pressure. Okay, as soon as it reaches at maximum, it experiences high partial pressure, so it binds the oxygen immediately, so in lungs. Okay, so when it reaches the myoglobin, that is the tissues, it experiences a low partial pressure, so this deoxyform shifts the curves to the left side, so which the deoxyform is converted into oxyform, that is called R state. Okay, so from this graph we will say that when the pressure increases, the hemoglobin binding capacity increases. The pressure decreases, hemoglobin binding capacity decreases. So when during the high partial pressure it forms deoxy, hemoglobin is converted into, binds the oxyform, and oxyhemoglobin takes the oxygen from the hemoglobin. Okay, so free hemoglobin captures the oxygen at high partial pressure of dioxin. So lungs experiences high partial pressure, and so hemoglobin saturated in lungs, so it takes up the oxygen and goes to the myoglobin, and the myoglobin experiences low partial pressure, so immediately it takes away the oxygen from the hemoglobin, and suddenly it picks up the oxygen and stores in it. Okay, so this is a reversible oxygen reversible binding reversible reaction. So hemoglobin suddenly reaches the myoglobin, it transfers all the oxygen molecules to the myoglobin and releases the oxygen, and suddenly it takes up the carbon dioxide from the myoglobin and reaches the lungs, and the carbon dioxide gets exhaled. Okay, and this is about the effect of pH. And one more thing, so as I told you already, the fetal hemoglobin consists of 2 alpha, 2 gamma. That is, the globin part is different between this adult hemoglobin, because adult hemoglobin contains 2 alpha, 2 beta. So there are 2 different genes is there. So here the binding capacity between this fetal hemoglobin and adult hemoglobin is very high. So when you draw the graph, it again so this is for adult hemoglobin and this is for fetal hemoglobin. Yeah, and this graph curve shows that hyperbolic curve. This is for myoglobin and saturation of oxygen. Okay, and this curve shows that the adult hemoglobin, compared to adult and fetal hemoglobin, the fetal hemoglobin has high affinity of oxygen. Why it is having high affinity of oxygen? And there is in adult hemoglobin there is a naturally existing product called BPG. So BPG is the bisphosphoglycerate. Bisphosphoglycerate, which act as a allosteric elevator. Allosteric elevators, effectors, or otherwise known as effectors. Allosteric effectors. So this bisphosphoglycerate is a naturally occurring molecule found in the cells. So it was found in the cells. So it formed during the glycolysis reaction. So during the glycolysis reaction, it was facilitated by the BPG mutase, that is an enzymatic reaction. So BPG is a bisphosphate glycerate mutase enzyme facilitate the glycolysis reaction. So one of the intermediate is called BPG. So this BPG has a crucial role in the binding of dioxin in hemoglobin. That is, it acts as an allosteric effectors. Okay. So this BPG So this BPG is found in the hemoglobin structure. So the 4 subunits are linked by the salt bridges. So in center of the 2 beta sheets, okay, in center of the 2 beta sheets, it contains BPG. So hemoglobin contains BPG molecule inside the center of the 2 beta sheets, okay, which was in the T state, that is deoxy state. So this BPG decreases the binding affinity of hemoglobin. So this BPG decreases the binding affinity of dioxygen thereby shifting the oxygen binding curve to right side. So the hemoglobin, during the binding of BPG, small amount of BPG is binded the 2 beta globin proteins in the hemoglobin. So this BPG decreases the binding affinity of hemoglobin, and this BPG shifts the oxygen binding curves to the right side, which means it tends to be, the hemoglobin should be in the deoxy form or T state. That means it does not completely releases all the oxygen from the hemoglobin, that is to the muscle tissue. So nearly 60% of oxygens are released to the muscle tissue. So some of the hemoglobin was in the T state. So the T state form was retained by this BPG molecule. So then the T state of the deoxyformers, the curve is shifted to the right side. That means the deoxyform is not completely converted into oxyhemoglobin. So some of the deoxyhemoglobins are retained in the lungs. So this was done by this BPG. But in the fetal hemoglobin, there is no such type of bisphosphoglycerate, that does not contain any allosteric effectors, because it contains 2 alpha 2 gamma globin proteins instead of 2 beta. So instead of this contains histidine residue, it contains serine. So adult hemoglobin contains histidine residues and this contains serine residues. So the fetal hemoglobin gets the dioxygen from the maternal adult hemoglobin. Okay, so then from the maternal adult hemoglobin, the dioxygen is transferred to the fetal hemoglobin. Okay, and it binds the oxygen very effectively because there is no bisphosphoglycerate, and it strongly binds the dioxygen very effectively, which was in the fetal hemoglobin. Okay, so this is about the cooperative effect in hemoglobin. Okay, and next we will see the effect of pH. Next one is effect of pH. As I discussed earlier, the hemoglobin picks the oxygen from the lungs and binds hemoglobin and travels through the blood to the tissues and reaches myoglobin. So this myoglobin takes this oxygen and forms myoglobin oxygen, okay, binded oxygen. Okay, and this oxygen is stored in the myoglobin. So whenever the body needs oxygen, it will be transferred to the from the myoglobin. So this myoglobin transfer the oxygen to the cell respiration. So during the cell respiration, it's a process of converting glucose to carbon dioxide. So this glucose is converted by the carbon dioxide and water and energy. So this energy is taken by the cells. So the formed carbon dioxide. Now in myoglobin, which has the low, it experiences, myoglobin has low pressure, low partial pressure of dioxin. So it takes the binds the dioxin at low partial pressure, and it has carbon dioxide. It experiences high partial pressure of carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide we know that it is the acid which experiences the acid, so it is low pH. So in myoglobin experiences low pH. Okay. So, hemoglobin reaches the muscle, it experiences low pH because of the carbon dioxide. Okay, so suddenly it releases the oxygen because the binding ability of hemoglobin decreases when decrease in the pH of the blood. This is called Bohr effect. So Bohr effect is the binding ability of oxygen hemoglobin get decreases when decrease the pH of the blood. Okay, so hemoglobin is in tissues, the binding affinity increases at high pH. So hemoglobin, the binding ability of oxygen increases at high pH. So at low pH, binding capacity decreases. Okay, so hemoglobin is in lungs, there is a high pH. So hemoglobin immediately binds the dioxygen, whereas it reaches the muscle tissue, it experiences low pH. So suddenly the binding ability of gets decreases because of the formation of carbon dioxide in the muscle. So this is called Bohr effect. Okay, and if you see the graph, so change of oxygen affinity with pH. So this Bohr effect is first discovered by the Christian Bohr, who is the father of Niels Bohr, discovered the Bohr effect. So in hemoglobin, the cooperative effect is pH dependent. So hemoglobin is dependent on pH. So the cooperative effect is nothing but the one hemoglobin contains 4 subunits. So one unit binds the dioxygen will increases the binding ability of other subunits. So one subunit triggers the binding of dioxygen of other subunits. So this is called cooperative effect or cooperative binding. So this cooperative effect is mainly depends on the pH of the hemoglobin and myoglobin. Okay, and the affinity of hemoglobin for dioxygen decreases with the decrease in pH. This is called Bohr effect. And if you see the graph, and this is the oxygen binding curves, and here this is the venous blood and this is arterial blood. The hemoglobin reaches the lungs, which experiences the high pH. So the oxygen binding ability is very high here. So it suddenly when reaches the muscle tissue, it travels the muscle tissue, it experiences low pH because the production of carbon dioxide by the cell respiration. So there is a acidic in nature, the muscles acidic in nature, it experiences low pH. So suddenly the hemoglobin releases the oxygen and shift the curves to the left side, which is tends to form the R state, that is the myoglobin, oxyhemoglobin. Okay, so it again suddenly transfer the oxygen to the myoglobin. Okay, so the oxygenation is favored in basic condition while deoxygenation favored in acidic condition. So the deoxyhemoglobin is only favored in acidic condition, and the oxygenation, that is the oxyhemoglobin, is found only in the basic condition. So lungs are highly saturated with alkaline solution, highly saturated with basic solution. So there is the binding of dioxin increases by the hemoglobin, but it reaches the muscle tissue, it experiences the low pH, which is acidic in nature. Suddenly the oxyhemoglobin is converted into deoxyhemoglobin. Okay, and this is called Bohr effect. It's a very important topic one. Okay, And one more thing, and this is the another curve. So the minimum oxygen affinity, that is called deoxyform. So this is the pH value, and at low pH the deoxyform is a favorable structure. At high pH the oxyform is a favorable structure. So hemoglobin has lowest oxygen affinity at pH equal to 6.4. Okay. So simply you want to say from that conclusion we should say that so binding ability of hemoglobin is increases at high pH. So in basic condition oxyhemoglobin is oxygen binding is very important. In acidic condition deoxyhemoglobin is favored structure. Okay. And this is about the effect of pH and effect of pressure. So the binding capacity of hemoglobin increases with increase in pressure, as well as the binding ability of hemoglobin increases when increases the pH of the solution. Okay. And this is about the hemoglobin and myoglobin. In the myoglobin, you see both the effects are only in the hemoglobin. The myoglobin does not depends on pH. Does not depends on pH. Okay. So in myoglobin, the carbon dioxide, the liberated carbon dioxide from the cell respiration is taken by the carbonic anhydrase, it's an enzyme. So this carbon dioxide is taken by the protons which is surrounded by the hemoglobins and takes to the lungs. So this carbon dioxide is converted into carbonic acid with the help of carbonic anhydrase. So this carbonic acid is again converted into carbon dioxide plus H2O because it is a reversible reaction, and this carbon dioxide get exhaled. Okay, so around 10 to 15% of carbon dioxide is taken by the amino groups in the protein of the hemoglobin. So the hemoglobin contains some protein molecules. So this carbon dioxide taken by the amino group. So the hemoglobin, the amino groups taken this carbon dioxide and form carbamino hemoglobin. So it is a reversible reaction. It suddenly converted into hemoglobin. Okay, and the remaining some percentage of carbon dioxide is taken by the blood plasma. Okay, so around 65% of carbon dioxide is get converted into carbonic acid. So carbonic acid is a weak acid, so again converted into carbon dioxide plus water with the help of carbonic anhydrase enzyme. So the carbon dioxide gets exhaled by the lungs. Okay, and this is about the hemoglobin and myoglobin. Okay, thanks for watching.